Hello, is this Mr. Kim? No, I'm not interested. If you ever received a telephone call from a telemarketer? They're so annoying that you could tell they're reading from a script, they sound so mechanical, and they sound a robot. Now, why do most people struggle when it comes to speaking effectively over the phone? The reason is very simple, that is because you've never been taught in school on how to use this device. I believe the telephone is one of the most powerful communication tools that's ever been invented, yet in school, there's no telephone one-on-one. We just learn from mistakes or learn from other people's mistakes. Today I'm going to share with you 3 simple techniques that will give you more confidence when you're speaking over the phone. And it doesn't matter if you're selling as a business person, it doesn't matter if you're talking to your friend, it doesn't matter if you are using it for your job. You're going to walk away with some powerful insights on how to use it. This first, particular technique number 1 is to use the person's first name. Unless your job requires you to use the last name. What I would suggest is you use the first name of the other person. Now, why do you want to do that? Because using the last name shows them that you are a salesperson, you are a stranger, and that you don't know them. For instance, most of the time what do your friends call you? They call you by your first name. What about your family? They call you by your first name, don't they? Psychologist research shows that human beings, one of our favorite words to hear, is our first name. Imagine you're walking down the street and someone calls and screams your first name, Rose, Brian, you would look and say, oh, is that me exactly? It catches your attention right there. You are building trust, and another thing that you could view is during the conversation you could repeat their first name multiple times. Calling by the first name multiple times establish the trust, it builds rapport, so, use the first name. Technique number 2. Listening is more important than speaking. Why? Because when we are on the phone we're not face to face, you'll lose that connection. I cannot read their facial expressions, they cannot read my facial expression, they cannot see my body language, so all I have is what I say, and my tonality, so that makes listening very critical. So to speak effectively on the phone, what we need is actually listening skill to pay attention. This is why when you are on the phone, especially if English is not your first language. If that's the case, this is why you don't want to be speaking on the phone on a noisy environment or distracted environment. You want to be in a quiet place, so you could pay attention to what they are saying. How they are saying it, pay attention to those cues. I know that's one of the challenges people have. They worry so much what they're going to say makes their waiting. What I guess is a mix. They're interrupting people yet they're not paying attention to those signals, to those cues. But if you listen closely, if you pay attention, you would pick up those signals. You'll be able to pick up their tonality. So listening is actually way more critical when you're talking over the phone, not just speaking. So that's technique number 2. Technique number 3. Ask questions with intent. You see, one of the things I teach my students, one of the most powerful things that you could do, is to learn to ask good questions, leading questions. Whoever asked a question controls the conversation, right? One of the best ways you want to get the other party talking it's by asking simple questions, and then you ask another question. Now, I'm going to use a selling example, in a selling scenario to illustrate, because that's the easiest to illustrate the power of questions. So let's say I'm talking to a prospect. I might say something like this: hey Tom, first name, a lot of clients have been telling you because of the reason technological changes, or a policy changes, that's affecting their business. How is that affecting you? Or I might ask a question like this: Jim, I will be brief. I will just simply ask you a couple of quick questions. If there's a way that we could slash your cost by 20 to 30% in the next 30 or 60 days, would you be interested? That's the power of question. Now, those are 3 simple techniques that you could utilize today to speak more effectively over the phone at Avalinks.co mobile application. We have additional resources that can help you to gain more confidence when you're speaking over the phone, giving you skills that are not taught in school. You could go to www.avalinks.co, get the mobile application, or simply click the link below to take advantage of some of these resources. And if this is the first time you are watching video on this channel, well, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification so you don't miss out on future videos. Until then, I'll see you next time. Stay blessed.